Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am very excited to be sharing this video with you all where I am starting my journey with crochet, and today we are starting with this crochet kit that I got at the Dollar Tree. I was very excited when I saw this and a second kit on the Dollar Tree. I was really hopeful for these kits. It seemed like it brought everything you needed. I sadly had to quickly learn that that wasn't the case. The kit and the instructions references like these crochet hooks that aren't included in the kit, so I had to go and get my own because I found them to be very necessary in keeping track of like your stitches and stuff. Also, the hook that is included in this kit, I really hated. I don't know what it was about this hook. It just felt like it wasn't working well and it was splitting my thread so much more than like it really should have been. Also, since it's really thin, I found my hands getting tired quicker holding it, so I also got, it's the same sized hook, but I just got my own that was more comfortable to hold and to use. Also, which I'll get into later, I also ran out of the thread or the yarn that was included in the kit, honestly very quickly. But here are the instructions. It's honestly a lot. I was completely lost when I first started looking into this and trying to figure out how to even do it, but I did my best. I did a lot of research. I watched a bunch of videos on YouTube to learn like the basics of each of the different like crochet styles with single crochet and double crochet. And just huge disclaimer, do not look to any of these crochet videos I'm doing as any type of tutorial or me teaching you all. Here you can see with my own yarn, I tried practicing different crochet, like the single crochet, the double crochet, half double. I am absolutely new to this, so don't expect to learn from me because I'm just here sharing my journey of learning, with this being my first steps. I even practiced the head, which for some reason turned out like huge. I don't know if it's because of the thread size I was using, but here I go, starting with the actual kits to make this cute panda. And right off the bat with, I believe they call it the magic circle or the magic ring. It's basically the first step for every piece of this kit, and I struggled for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, just to get to this point of making the magic circle or the magic ring. I don't know what it was, but every time I went to start, I kept messing up and had to keep restarting. And there were many times where I wanted to give up, but I was honestly so excited to be learning because I felt like I was finally getting it. But this first part, the magic circle or the magic ring, I kept messing it up and I had to keep restarting. Honestly lost count of how many times I had to restart just with this. And this was the first thing I was doing with the magic ring, was the head. I will say I kind of regret starting with the head because I feel like, obviously since I'm new, it wasn't perfect. It was far from perfect, and so I kind of hate that the main part of the panda, its like face and head, came out so wonky. You'll see what I mean later on in the video once you see it actually be done. But here I finally was able to do the magic ring and get it done, and this is what it looks like. At least this is how mine looked like. And I think this took me like an hour or two just to get to this point, but I was still motivated to continue on. Honestly, the instructions, like the diagrams that teach you the different crochet techniques, was not helpful to me at all, except to tell me the abbreviations. But once I, so to say, learned what like single crochet was and how to do it, which is what I felt the majority of this part, at least with the head and the ears, was just pretty much entirely single crochet. There were some increasing stitches and decreasing stitches, but for the most part it was all single crochet. And once I got it, I felt like super motivated because it was quickly coming together and I felt like I was getting faster with it. It's really hard to see on camera, especially if like you're speeding it up, because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. That's also why I didn't record everything, because again, I don't want any of these videos to feel like a tutorial in any way. I'm just sharing my journey with learning how to crochet. I really enjoyed it. It was really frustrating, but I'm really excited to continue on and continue learning. I will say those little hooks, they look kind of like paper clips. The kit keeps mentioning it and showing it in the pictures, but it doesn't include one. I would say to get one if you don't already have one, because I kept losing my place before I had them, and it just was so much easier for me to have one to mark the start of like each round that I was doing. Here at this point I did basically finish the whole head of the panda, and as you can see, it is far from perfect. I find it cute, but I think it's because it's my first real crochet project that it has that sentimental value, but it is very wonky looking. And so at this point in the instructions it tells you to put in the eyes, which I struggled a lot with because my stitches were so uneven. There were giant holes in them, so I felt like the eyes kept falling out. And then with this like stuffing fluff that they give you, it's honestly surprising how much it actually is in such a small package. You're supposed to stuff the head. The instructions don't really tell you like how much or how little to put in. I learned a little too late that if you add too much stuffing, it's gonna like see through your stitches, which was really disappointing for me. And then after you basically close up the head, I guess, and as you can see here, I'm already running out of the white yarn that was included in this kit, and I don't know if it's just because I'm new and I wasted a lot of it, or maybe this kit just didn't bring enough, but I don't really have yarn of this size, so I'm gonna have to go out and get more yarn like wherever I can find it, but that's gonna be for another video. I decided that since I've dedicated this whole month to it, I think my next video is gonna be on the next kit, and I'm just gonna keep going through the kits with whatever's included, and then my final video of the month I'll be finishing it all, and kind of that's where I'll buy whatever yarn that I need in whatever color. Because as you can see here, I started the body, which is the next part after the head, which is mostly in white yarn, but this is as far as I was able to get with the white yarn that was included. I decided, because I wasn't ready to end the video here, I decided to skip ahead to parts of the panda that were all in black, because that's all the yarn I had. So I did the panda's ears and his two hands, because his feet, his nose, and most of his body is like all in white. The ears actually came out really cute. I feel like it was the best part of what I made, which was really sad for me. But I feel like the ears kind of help make the head look a lot cuter. But as I was saying, for my next video, will be moving on to the second kit, and I will work on it as far as I can with the yarn that is included. And then at the end of this month, I will buy all of the missing yarn that I need if I can find it, and try to finish it and show you the full finished products. I originally wanted to do the whole panda kit in one video, but because of me running out of the yarn and because of how long it's taking, I don't want this video to be longer than it already is. The instructions tell you to sew all the pieces and parts together at the end, but I didn't want to lose these ears and I really wanted to see how it would look, so I just went ahead and sewed on the ears to the head of the panda. And honestly, this part was probably the easiest for me, but I think that's just because I'm used to sewing and hand sewing, so it wasn't anything really new to me. But I do think the ears definitely helped make this guy look a lot cuter. Here's kind of a side-by-side of my panda head versus the one in the instructions. Mine is far from perfect, but for my first ever crochet journey attempt, I'm really happy with it. The hands don't look that bad, and I'm honestly just so excited to continue learning crochet, and I hope you all enjoyed this video and the start of this journey with me, and I hope you all will stick around for the rest of it. Bye!